Daddy.
And look who decided to stop by. My youngest of three, Ricky, or little Ricky, decided to stop by. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Can you wave at the camera?
Hi.
Yeah. He's almost 2, and if you couldn't tell, his favorite superhero is Spider-Man for the moment. So, wanted to take a moment and introduce him. Can you say bye?
Bye.
Oh, sorry. Can you say bye?
Bye.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hi. My name is Rick Blanke, Managing Partner of Blanke Schein Wealth Management, and welcome to the next installment of our Financial Foundation series. In this episode, we're going to build upon our previous episode, which was on cryptocurrencies, and we're going to discuss the Metaverse. You know, back in 2021, it got a lot of mainstream media attention when Facebook decided to officially change their name to Meta, a nod to where they see their business going in the future. But what is the Metaverse? Is it something that we have access to now? Is it something that's going to become more important moving forward into the future? In this episode, we're going to unpack what's hype and what's reality. So what is the Metaverse? Well, in essence, it's a seamless convergence of reality and a digital reality, a place where theoretically you can have business meetings, play games, do shopping, all the things you can do online, but in a virtual location. At this point, there are a couple main metaverses. Now, it's not all one. There's not just one metaverse. Maybe in the future, that could change. But at this moment, there's a couple main metaverses, which would be the Facebook or the metaverse. There's Decentraland and there's Sandbox. There's others as well, but those are the three leaders of the category. But the idea of a metaverse is not a new one. It's actually been around for a very long time. I don't know how many of you out there remember the old games like The Sims, an online game that you'd play where you have your own virtual world. It's the same idea, but the next step forward, right? So instead of just looking at a computer screen, and interacting with people that way, you actually have a headset, whether it be the Oculus or the HoloLens or some of these other ones. You actually wear a headset and you are transported into this digital world. The thinking behind it being, if you're working remote, you can meet with people in person. Games then become more realistic because you're actually in the game versus just watching it on a screen. So the idea is not a new idea. It's just the natural progression of technology. So while the media has been clamoring to say that the metaverse is the next big thing, there are some serious concerns with the technology behind it, in the sense that it doesn't seem ready for wide stream adoption or widespread use. There's a lot of technical issues, whether it be rendering an actual person versus using avatars. Meta or Facebook, half of their, they're only half of a body, right? You only have the top half because that's what the sensors are monitoring. So everyone's walking around with no legs. There's a lot of technological improvements that need to take place before there's some serious adoption. Another barrier to entry is you need to have the goggles. As I mentioned before, you have to have the HoloLens or the Oculus or the a couple other different brands where you actually have to put the goggles on your face in order to be in this virtual reality. Now, there's little doubt in my mind that over an extended period of time, whether it be 5, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it may be, that technology will be there. But to say that the metaverse is the next big thing right now seems a little bit premature. Not to say it won't in the future, but at this point, it seems like there needs to be a little bit more accessibility to the average American citizen or the average worldwide citizen, whether it just be normal glasses that you can put on instead of a big headset, or something that you can utilize through your phone or what have you. There needs to be some significant advancements in the future to make this more widespread. So where is the metaverse? So as I just referenced, there are a couple different metaverses. And just to picture what a metaverse looks like, picture graph paper from back in math class in elementary and high school. You have graph paper, basically an area with a bunch of little tiny squares. That is in essence what a metaverse is, little plots of land that you can buy. Now, it's actually the modern equivalent to the old $1 million homepage initiative. Years ago, there was a college student that was trying to raise money for college. So what did he do? He created a website with just 1 million squares. Now, what he did was he sold those squares for $1. And who did he sell them to? Any company that would buy them. The goal was for him to try to raise money to go to college. So what happened was a lot of these companies saw this as, a minor investment, $1, and it started to gain traction. And people started to buy these squares or plots of land. Before long, he had sold the full 1 million squares. So he had $1 million. Now, it's the same idea. And in fact, that website is still online today. If you go to milliondollarhomepage.com, you can see the chart or the squares and plots of land for advertisement purposes. It's the same principle as the metaverses. You buy plots of land, and on that land, in whichever metaverse you choose, you can build a home or a coffee shop or a gathering spot. It doesn't matter. It's up to you, whatever you decide to build on your land. Now, some people tie this into NFTs, which we will talk about in a future video. But they'll create a museum, if you will, where you can walk through and look at NFTs that have been purchased by that landowner. So it's actually even getting into almost real life real estate, where you've got companies that are leasing out property for other people to utilize, for a monthly rental fee. So the idea has been around for a while. It's just the modern progression of technology. At this point, we're so early that it's hard to tell winners and losers if it's going to be worth it to actually buy the plots of land. Maybe, but only time will tell on that. But it's similar to the $1 million homepage, where there wasn't much ROI for the companies advertising on the squares or the plots of land. The main beneficiary of that was the kid who created the $1 million homepage. Now, this is still in its infancy, and I can't stress that enough. We just have to see how companies are going to utilize the metaverse, and if there are multiple metaverses, if the metaverses are ever expanding, or if they're finite. So there's a lot of unknowns with this category. But that's, in essence, that's what it is. It's little squares, little plots of land that people can buy and build upon. So how does the metaverse tie into cryptocurrencies, as I alluded to at the beginning of this video? And it's that the cryptocurrencies seem to be what are going to power the metaverse. And by that I mean, when you're making acquisitions within the metaverse, it looks at this point like you're going to be using cryptocurrencies. Now, we don't know which cryptocurrency. It could be the digital dollar when the Fed comes out with that. It could be any of these other cryptocurrencies or coins or tokens that are out there. But the cryptocurrency genre as a whole is going to tie into the metaverse, moving forward into the future. So those are just some of the basics of the metaverse. There's going to be a lot more information that comes out in the future. In the meantime, if you want to discuss the metaverse and get into a little bit more detail on some of the aspects of the metaverse, please don't hesitate to reach out. Click the link in the description. Give me an email, give me a call. I'd love to have the conversation with you. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks.